Hey everyone, a quick update. So, I have been running tests with the RTK GPS system, and funnily enough, without the RTK correction, I'm getting the accuracy down to about 10, maybe 20 centimeters. And when I add the RTCM data through my phone, it actually gets worse. It goes in almost 30, 40, even 50 centimeters, half a meter, which shouldn't happen. The correction should increase the accuracy, not reduce it. So more research to be done. I need to figure out, maybe there's a setting that is not right in the GPS. It may not be applying the correction data correctly. But either way, I think there is more research on the GPS side. The good news is I could still use it without the correction. I'm still getting a fairly good accuracy. I think I might need a new antenna. The current antenna I have is I believe it's 42 dB decibels per milliwatt. But once you add a cable, and the cable I have is about, I think it's 3 meters, fairly long cable, 15 feet. It reduces the strength of the antenna basically. So I might need a bigger antenna, but with that I may be able to use the GPS without having to use the correction data, but we'll see. The other issue I was running into, and this is important, is when I was using the RF transceiver NRF24L01 plus. The way it works is it sends a 2.4 gigahertz carrier frequency, uses the carrier frequency and sends the data over it. But the power that it draws can vary depending upon how much data it's sending and how frequently it's sending. And I was getting a very good result when I was using my USB adapter both on my laptop and my phone. But when I switched to Arduino, I started getting a lot of errors. Basically the characters would be malformed. Sometimes the message will be truncated. So I'm looking at it. One thing that pretty much everyone has been suggesting on internet is to use a capacitor between 5 to 50 microfarad, 4.7 to 37 microfarad between the power input for the RF transceiver. So I'll try that. Looks like based on what I'm reading, that resolves those issues. So most likely this weekend I'm going to fine tune that, because in addition to the GPS I will also need to work on the communication between the two devices. And once the communication is done, I can control the mower remotely without having a laptop on it, which was my first concern. I have already dropped my laptop a couple times and broken the frame. And the other thing is the stepper motor is already ready. So once I get this work, at least this weekend, I'm hoping to remotely control it. And if I can get the GPS working, then the next hard part would be mapping my yard, creating coordinates for the entire path. I'll have to literally create a navigation path for every single point, or not every single point, but every single end point. So it has to go, if it needs to go 20 times, each of those end points I'll have to go and map. And then I'll have to plan the control mechanism. So what happens when it's moving and it goes off the direction? Do you correct the position? Do you correct the direction? So it'll be fun. But just wanted to update a few things. I think I have made a lot of progress of late, but this GPS issue completely trumped me. I was not expecting the accuracy to go down after applying correction data. The other project I was working on is actually to add motor modularized mechanism to a pool cover reel, and I'll post it shortly. But today it's a three-man job. I ask my kids to hold the cover from one side, and two people have to pull it to cover it, and one person has to basically wind the reel to uncover or cover, wind or unwind the cover on the reel. So once I add the motor, it will be a one-person job for opening and completely automated for closing. No, completely automated for opening. For closing, you would still need someone to go on the other side and close the cover. So I'll post that. The only problem I have right now is designing the mechanical attachments for it. The code and the motor and everything is ready. I just need to make sure, one, it's securely attached to the reel, and two, it's weatherproof. So since it's out in the sun and the rain, I don't want it getting destroyed, and don't want to have to move inside every time it rains. So that defeats the purpose. So once I figure those two things out,